Sega Genesis Mini 2 Review. Sega is making history in the mini, retro game console market by releasing its first follow-up unit. The $99.99 Genesis Mini 2 offers more of their iconic Sega Genesis. The design of the Sega Genesis Mini 2 is a throwback to the second-generation 1993 model, which most younger gamers would easily recognize. It's much smaller than the original. At a smaller size, the Genesis Mini 2 sits well alongside the original Mini, as well as other mini-game consoles like the Nintendo NES Classic and Sony PlayStation. Similar to the original, the Genesis Mini 2 is powered by a micro USB charger and an HDMI port for both audio and video output. Both items come with the purchase. One of the biggest issues with the original Sega Genesis Mini was that it came with games requiring 6-button controls, despite only including 2 standard 3-button controllers in the package. Meaning, players couldn't do strong punches and kicks on Street Fighter II Special Champion Edition without buying an extra controller. The Genesis Mini 2 is supplied with one 6-button controller, with a 6-foot cable that would have been better if longer. Although you can use the 3-button controllers of its predecessor, unfortunately, it won't help the second Street Fighter player much. In general, the controller is much more compact than the previous design. But it does not have the same matte plastic and grooves on the back that provide a better grip than the original one. The best thing about the controller is the new mode button on the right shoulder. This gives you easy access to the system-level menu that lets you save your game or create a new save slot, without needing to hold down the start button like before, which was much less intuitive. The game library is one of the best parts of a mini console, and the Sega Genesis Mini 2 has much more than before. It also has much more games than any other mini console in existence. Konami's TurboGrafx 16 Mini is the closest competitor with 57 games, including several from Japan originally released for NEC's PC Engine before it was rebranded for the US. Although some titles might not be that impressive, Sega takes full advantage of this unique opportunity to include a range of rare and popular Sega CD games as well as sequels to extremely successful console-selling titles. Out of the 12 Sega CD titles included in this Genesis Mini 2 package, most are unique titles, excluding Shining Force CD. A combination of both Shining Force Game Gear adventures with improved audio and visuals.